This gotta get my screens together, everyone. Please hold. Duel. Do you have headphones?
Let me see.
I
Yeah,
forgot to
I
ask
do.
you that. Okay.
Yes, I have headphones.
Okay.
Yay.
Let me pull this up on Periscope. This is right. Hello, everyone. If you're watching us out there, we are just getting some things together. Just hang on. We will be starting in just a moment.
I'm gonna be singing Jolene for the rest of the day now.
I actually don't know that song like that. Like,
literally, all I know is Jolene, Jolene. Please don't take my man, but that's what I'm gonna be singing. So,
hello, Mama Shay. Hello, Ty McKinney. Just getting my screen set up because I'm horrible at this. By now, you know I'm always struggling at the beginning of these shows. I don't know what that's about,
but it always comes right on together.
It always comes together. Okay, I think we're ready to start, everyone. So, welcome to Boys and Brunch. This is the show where we expose everything going down on the timeline. And today we are talking about the outing of gospel singer Darrel Walls, Twerkgate at TRUE Kitchen Kocktails, the assault allegations against popular Instagram gay Twink god, and the dragging of Black Panther star Letitia Wright. I'm Jarrod D. King, and I'm joined by co-hosts Brandon Harris-Williams and Marcus Haynes. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hola.
And we are also joined by a special guest host who is an actor, writer, producer, singer, model, you name it.
All of the multi-hyphenates. All the multi-hyphenates. Hi, everybody.
How are you, Dueal?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We're so happy to have you on. And thank you for dealing with my craziness this morning, because I know it was a struggle. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Zoom had a mind of his own today. It's all right. It's all good. As long as we're here right now, let's get into this.
Right.
It's gonna be good.
This is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So, so can you briefly expand on what it is that you do, Dueal?
Well, aside from acting, of course, I'm a screenwriter and a producer, and I own my own production company here in LA called Devo Productions. I started it shortly after graduating college. I got my theater arts degree from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Shout out Toros. And since then, I've been working in television and film, not only in front of the camera, but behind the cameras as well. So that's a little bit of what I do.
Okay.
So far.
Right. Awesome. Sounds good. So now we've all brought drinks. So I hope you're with us on this. What have you got today?
Oh yes. Well, I was gonna do the alcohol, but unfortunately, I did that last night. It's a little early, so we're gonna do this cran apple juice right here.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Because Papa got a day ahead of him, so we ain't gonna start too early.
Got you. Okay, sounds good. Marcus, what's going on with you?
I am shouting to the rooftops that the semester is over and I can, do things and not pull what little hair I got out.
And so you had a little bit of a story behind your drink today, and I want to hear what happened.
So originally, I was planning on going, full force in and bring me some Jack and Coke, because that's just how I'm feeling today. Like this is a celebration. House and ever.
House and ever.
House and ever. I was not able to get up early enough to make breakfast, and I am not a fool. So I decided, you know what, we're gonna stick with Old Reliable and drink this here sweet red wine.
All right.
So we're gonna be too loose today on the show.
Well, that is
your name. So
it is.
Brandon, give us a quick update. What's going on?
I'm writing. I'm trying to be more productive that way. My brother's visiting me. That's been a little bit. What else is going on? I think that's it.
Let me ask you, because You had me and Marcus like, Destiny's Child. We had to sit here, take a minute, girl, come sit down and tell me what's been happening. We had one of those moments earlier in the week, and we're trying to figure out is everything good?
I deactivated my Twitter for a few days. I just needed a break.
Okay.
I won't share anything else, but yeah, I just needed a break.
Okay, all right, that's good. So, what are you drinking today?
Moscato, and I did like y'all. I have the bottle next to me in case I got a refill today. So
very nice.
But I also did not eat breakfast, so we'll see how this goes. I had a honey bun. So.
Oh man, this is gonna be a fun show because I didn't have breakfast either, and I am I've got a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a little dark for breakfast or for brunch, but it's what I got today. And I guess as far as my little update this week, I've been trying to focus on how to build my brand. I don't know if you've paid attention to my Twitter at all, but it might be a little bit different. I'm trying to stretch myself a little bit. So we'll see how that works. But I want to say to the Bourgeois, if you're watching, if at any point you hear something you like, please heart it up, give us a like, and I will be watching the comments, doing my best to interact with you and shout you out. You can also head over to boysandbrunch.com to become a patron now and get instant access to our after show Splitting the Bill, where we will get more relaxed and say the things we meant to say on the main show.
All right.
So we've got that coming. I see some people in here. I just want to shout them out. Focus says, "Hey Brandon." So you've got a friend in here. Beulah Vale is in. Connected is here. I see Lauren is in here. LT. So hello everyone. Hello. We are going to get started on this first topic. And I will call this one Out of the Close Friends, as in out of the closet, out of the close friends. It works better in text.
It fit. You gotta stick with it and sell it. It's fine. The confidence.
Yes. So Darrel Walls is the eldest member of well-known sibling gospel group, the Walls Group. He recently posted a video on Instagram of him kissing his boyfriend and received a lot of backlash from the Christian community. Why would he do that? Well, to be precise, he posted the video on Instagram stories in a section exclusively for his close friends. Well, one of his close friends decided to share that with the world, effectively outing him to everyone. So I want to start with our guest, Dueal. What do you think about how this all came to light?
Well, first I had to do my research. So before I speak on anything, I had to go in because I don't really go in on conspiracy theories or anything, but I believe the truth is out there. So in this case, I was able to do my research and check it out. And, this man is very, very talented. We all know that. However, I just feel like in his friends group, I have a theory that there's somebody jealous. It's always somebody who's jealous, who's not really in a relationship or something. Someone who when he put out the video to his friends, someone in that group, like you say, you got to be mindful because some friends could be foes in disguise. That's what I believe. Sometimes
Absolutely.
not everybody's your friend. And sometimes you got to be mindful and you got to watch folks because honestly, there was somebody in that group that was awaiting to try to be try to take him down a peg or two. So they took that opportunity by taking that video, something private between him and his partner, and blasted it. And for me, I just feel like people don't think about how damaging that could be. Maybe he wasn't ready to come out. Maybe he was taking his time. It's not no one's business what someone does behind their closed doors or wherever they are with that person. I don't, like I said, being, an LGBT actor, man, myself, I wouldn't want that happen to me. But at the same time, I'm not a person who, in many ways, likes when you have friends, or you just got to be mindful of what you put out there because Absolutely. Like I said, not everybody is on your side.
Not everybody's on your side. Now, do you think, like, do you think Darrel has some responsibility in how this came out, though? Because I mean, there's the whole saying that when you post something online, I mean, it's out there for everybody, regardless of whether
Yes.
you think, So I mean, Brandon and Marcus, y'all can jump in on this too, and give us your general thoughts as well. Brandon, maybe we can hear some from you, sir.
No, I think you definitely have to take some responsibility. I get that it is a private thing and it's close friends, but I also know, like, from myself, everybody's whose close friends list I'm on, I don't know that well. I don't know offline. So I can't say that everybody on his close friends is someone he absolutely has a relationship with or is like very close to, or they like hang out or whatever else. It might just be a certain list of followers that he interacts with from time to time, or a certain list of people he might think are good enough or whatever. And so it might be, like you're saying, someone who was jealous, or it might be someone who just wanted to either share in celebration or share in, like, this is finally the proof. Like, because the rumors have been out about him for a while. Like, there was allegedly a sex tape of him, I think earlier this year, maybe last year.
Okay, I didn't know that.
To me, it didn't look like him, but I mean, it's dark. Figure out, decide for yourself. But I think, again, the rumors have been out there, so people are probably like, this is the proof that, you know what I'm saying, we're not making it all up, whatever. But it's still not right. But I still think he has some responsibility because he posted it.
Gotcha. What about you, Mark? Is he feeling the same way?
Somewhat. For me, it kind of goes back to this whole, like, I feel like people don't really know what DL is nowadays. Because if you're supposedly DL in the closet, whatever, what have you, you wouldn't be online talking about it. That's a thing that people do nowadays.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it's somewhat that kind of situation to where, I'm DL, but some people know, like, that type of deal.
Yeah. And that brings up the whole thing, because I mean, even this week they were talking about the DL versus out, like, Civil War or something. And I'm like, what is the deal with that? Like,
if you a DL, you ain't arguing about being DL on the timeline.
If you're a DL, you don't even know what DL means. Like, I don't.
But it could just be old and old fashioned and so on and so forth. But anyway, like, so to an extent, I can kind of say, like, if you were really, really trying to keep this under wraps, you would have never posted this video at all. However, like what Brandon was saying, whoever did that, whoever outed them, foul. Like, that's just straight up down bad, because that's betrayal of somebody's trust. And for me, I personally think that they kind of like sold them out, because like also what Brandon said, like, if there have been rumors swirling around, like, I could guarantee you that somebody like a TMZ, probably even a Shade Room, would have paid well for that cold hard proof.
Absolutely.
Well, it was on Shade Room Church, so I don't know if they got a check for it, but.
And the whole fact that they have a Shade Room Church is just so funny to me.
They got to separate the gospel from the heathen.
I mean,
so.
and
I'm thinking,
I guess there's some mess in, that they can talk about there. I mean, there's an outlet for that. So what do you think about the response this has all gotten? Because there were people on both sides. I mean, of course, there was the Christian community who kind of were saying, just go and get saved. We're with you, but go and get saved or something. But then we've got, people that are, I guess, more like us, where we're like, we're with you and we're sorry that this thing kind of happened. Any reactions to that?
It's to be expected.
Yeah, I think that like, rumors can be out there about your sexuality, and a lot of people, be them Christians or old-fashioned people, homophobic people, whatever, can kind of like disregard a rumor. But then when there's proof, then they really show how homophobic that they are. And so it's like, we can support them even though there's the rumors out there. But now that we know for sure, like, oh my God, no. Yeah. And that's just trash.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. I was glad to see that a lot of people were standing up for him, and even not necessarily resharing the video, because I feel like once people understood that was kind of the same thing as kind of perpetuating the thing that happened in the first place, then that kind of stopped. So I was glad to see that happen as well.
Which is actually kind of sad because it was cute.
Yeah, it was very cute. So yeah, I agree with that too. But do you guys have any friends or anybody that you think you would not completely trust all of that kind of info with?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's, like I said before, you got to choose your friends like you choose your fruit and, produce. You got to be very selective of who you share that information with, because people in your inner circle, like I said, they knew what was going on. They knew he probably, had somebody on the side. So there's always somebody who, is always looking to find an opportunity. And like we said before, like there could have been a TMZ, there could have been, anybody looking for a story. That person most likely, you got to look, and now he has to figure out, probably has to get a whole reevaluation of the people in which is in his inner circle, because that's something that, like you said, like we said before, it was an invasion of privacy, it was an invasion of trust, and once that's broken, that's it. Everything else he can deal with, as far as coming out and dealing with whatever, commentary within the Black church and everything else, he can deal with that. But the issue is the breach of trust within his group, because they knew he wasn't ready to come out just yet. But at the same time, he has to take responsibility, because if you are quote unquote DL, they don't behave you like that. We, like I said, we have to put accountability on both parties in this case. So
but I think
go ahead.
I feel like though the group will probably be fine because they're younger. I think they have a lot of a younger fan base, so the younger Christians normally aren't as old-fashioned or as, crazy or whatever. Because the other brother in the group, he does R&B music on the side. He cusses and goes off on folks on live and on social media. One of the sisters had a baby a couple years ago, is not married, so I think they'll be okay.
Oh yeah, they're good.
It's not their first controversy. So
now there's I do see an interesting comment. Beulah Vale is saying Darrel Walls is a very handsome and attractive Black man. If he did not fit the stereotype of the typical gay man, I promise you he would never be outed like that. Do you think that's true?
Wait.
Repeat it.
Because he doesn't fit the stereotype of what I'm saying, if he did not fit the stereotype of somebody who was considered attractive, basically, that they would not then be outed the way that.
So if he was ugly, we wouldn't have outed him, is what we're saying.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't think I agree with that, because he's still in the gospel group. So I don't think I agree with that.
Well, what's the reaction?
That's a little, for me, it's a little shallow in a way, because it's like, well, if he wasn't attractive, we wouldn't have outed him. So if the opposite, like, I don't see why that would be a factor. That's why I reacted that way. I was like,
well,
looks
maybe
don't care whether,
Right. And I'm thinking maybe it's not necessarily looks, it's probably more so like status. I feel like you are a lot more susceptible to that kind of thing happening the higher up you are, as however visible you are. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I do respect the opinion, though. We're not throwing you out there.
I think what they're trying to say is, like, people only care because it's kind of like a gotcha. That's a thing that a lot of people do. Oh, this man is so fine, like, you too fine to be gay, like that type of deal. Like, I feel like that's what they're trying to get at. But yeah, because he in the gospel group, if he was ugly, people would be like, oh my God.
So I think I want to move into our next topic now. This is titled "Twerking Over Toast," and I would like to start with a solemn quote by Bubba Sparks: "Booty, booty, 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 rockin' everywhere." Thank you.
That's my jam.
So
I'm
that's
sorry.
exactly.
That's my jam. Okay, that's my jam.
When you said Bubba Sparks, I knew where we were going.
Where else can you go?
So that's exactly what was happening on video at one table at TRUE Kitchen and Cocktails during brunch. However, despite the hired DJ playing booty rocking music, the owner of the restaurant, Kevin Kelly, didn't appreciate it. In a viral video he's seen saying he created the restaurant so Black people had a nice place to go and feel good about our culture. He said, "Don't bring that twerking stuff here because we're a restaurant." Quote, "How can I tell men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass? If you want to do that, get the F out my restaurant." Brandon, was the owner wrong? How do you feel about this situation? I guess just in general, because I mean, or I guess initially, because I think as we got more information,
my opinion changed slightly, but not too much.
Okay.
Initially, I was like, that's a bit much. I was like, I understand you don't want them on your furniture. I get it. I get it's a restaurant. Cool. The delivery is the issue. 1, 2, I think because he made a blanket statement like the whole room, and it was only like a table or two that were doing this inappropriate behavior or whatever. You should have singled them out and went over to them individually. I don't know, but then as more stuff came out, it's like there was a long wait for the food. You keep feeding everybody drinks. You're playing a lot of twerking music. Also, I didn't realize that standing on furniture was normal for brunch for some people. I'm not knocking it, but it is normal behavior. So, I mean, I can't be mad if that's what you're used to or you expect. But I just think it's bad business for him to express himself the way that he did.
Any other thoughts
From
about this? Well, you know what? Okay, I'll talk for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, can you come back to me about 6 minutes?
Because I think initially I was just like, why are y'all doing all that in a restaurant? I think that was my initial thought. Because I feel like even if there's a DJ playing whatever kind of music, it doesn't mean that that's the environment that you do that in. Well, okay, so see, the thing is that everybody
let him go.
Everybody was sitting down, and when you go to a place, you know what the vibe is. If nobody's up dancing around, then that's not the place to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Challenge it. Does the music not set the vibe to an extent?
The music sets a vibe. Okay, it does. But I feel like when you go there and you see nobody else is doing that, then why would you be the first one to just break that? You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know. So that was my initial thought. Anyway, that was my initial. That was my initial thought.
Yeah, I feel you.
But then of course, you know, we saw some more video or something. I think Marcus, you had shared some video with me. People were up dancing. They were doing line dances or something like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was a completely sit down, let me just sit here and eat my food type of environment. So it then led me to think maybe the owner is just talking about twerking specifically, as in, and it was just very strange. I think a lot of stuff got lost in translation because we didn't get we only got that clip. We didn't get the full thing.
Situation,
Yeah. Dueal, what are you feeling about this?
I honestly, I agree. His delivery may have been like abrasive, but at the same time, I could see it from a point of view of him being, an entrepreneur. Like, this is his spot. He's trying to create this space for all of us that we can enjoy. I go to plenty of brunch spots here in LA. I ain't never been to no Roscoe's where all of a sudden somebody gonna start twerking on top of the table. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. That spot, like I said, he set it up that way, if he had the DJ going and, you expect people are going to start, moving a little bit, right. But at the same time, it's like, I understand his position, if you get up on top of tables and you twerking and doing all that could be like some type of liability issue, for him. Like, somebody could injure themselves, he can get sued. But the thing is, I agree, he should have isolated the group. He should have had security escort them out and told them like, hey, this is not the spot to do that. and gone about their business. But the thing is, when he addresses everybody, of course somebody's gonna catch it on their phone and they're gonna put it out there. And like I said, everybody just went ham on Twitter on him about that. And it's unfortunate. But the thing is, you as a patron, you can't come in somebody's spot, just doing all willy-nilly. You gotta be respectful, because like I said, as Black folks, we don't necessarily always have a place to go. So I get what he was trying to say. He was trying to provide a space for us to go, because it's like, we can't never have nothing nice. It's like my mama say, like, we can't never have nothing nice. And that was, like I said, I agree. He was a little rough, but at the same time, I understand his position.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's not a lot of Black-owned businesses around where people can congregate and be comfortable, and yes, they set the atmosphere where they had music and they had alcohol, but at the same time, you can't just be yelling at folks and expecting them to come back, because not everybody was up, doing all of that. It was one specific group. So you got to see it on both sides.
Marcus, what are you feeling now? It's been 6 minutes.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. The environment is gonna be the energy you put out is gonna be the energy you get back. And if I walk into this place and you back that thing up, and you playing music videos on the TV screens, and you serving Hennessy infused Hennessy, like, you're going to get what you put out. And my whole thing is, like, he has in his mind, he has a different restaurant than what he actually has.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, you think that you're serving a restaurant in the middle of, I don't know, Italy or something. You're in Houston playing Back That Thing Up and with music videos on TV screen. Like, you ain't even got tablecloths on the table, bro. Like, how you got a fancy restaurant, you ain't got tablecloths? So the whole thing is just like, it's just like, no, like, you're doing way too much for this little establishment that you got. Like, let the people, like, yeah, she probably shouldn't have got up on the table. That was trifling. How's it ever? You're doing way too much for the little wing shop that you got.
Yeah.
Wing shop with no wings, because they didn't have no food.
They didn't have no food. I know a brunch spot with no food. If he wanted that, he should have been playing like Anita Baker, Sade, or something. He wanted that type of vibe.
Here's my argument against the whole music thing. Here's my argument against the whole music thing. Because I don't care what's on. If that's not what is happening in the place, you sit down. That's what I'm just saying. Like, you don't uncontrollably get up out your seat because what's his name, Juvenile, or whoever that man was, comes on. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
Okay.
It is. I'm gonna say that Juvie had nothing to do with this. Don't disrespect Juvie.
I think we get up for our national anthem. I think we do.
That is.
And see, I also feel like, but there's always gonna be somebody that starts it off. Always gonna be somebody that starts off the party. And the environment from the other videos, the environment that this place set was that this was a party spot. So all it takes is that one person to get up and get it started.
Yeah, I do think, though, from what he said explicitly, like you were saying, I think he had an issue with twerking, which is a larger problem, because he was like, something about the men can't respect themselves if you're not respecting yourselves or whatever. So that's like respectability politics or whatever. Yes. So you're not even mad that we're dancing. You're mad that ass is being shook. Like,
why are you mad about that? But
okay. Not the asses that you want to see. I don't know. I don't know this man.
So I'm checking the comments.
I don't know this.
Connected had shouted me out, said check the comments. So I'm looking, and it looks like a lot of people are kind of agreeing that it was just kind of overblown. I'm seeing some comments. I'm seeing Connected. You're saying that you don't care what kind of music is on there, and I kind of agree with you there. But I think the situation was a lot more dramatic than it needed to be, because he didn't need to speak to everybody in the room. Yeah, it was really just those people that he needed to speak with if he had a problem with that.
And then he'd be like, I don't need your money. And I'd have been like, oh, bet.
Free meal.
Okay, see, now I saw that too, because I saw a lot of people saying, oh, I'm just going to get up and just stop. But then you're dining and dashing. So you're not really.
No, he said he don't need our money.
He was very specific about that.
No, maybe,
he said get out.
Okay. All right. Hey, I hear that.
I'm like, thank you.
So I want to ask you guys, do you prefer a brunch turn up or do you prefer a quiet sit down brunch?
I'm here for the turn up. It's just got to be a big enough space, though. Maybe his space wasn't big enough to be doing all that. Because some brunch spots, I know for me, being here in LA, there's a few places where, like you said, you have a space where they have tables where people can eat and buffet style, and then they have like a small dance area because, you know, day parties. Like I said, he don't have the space to do that. So where else somebody gonna twerk at? But at their table with their friends. So, like I said, maybe it's the issue of the fact, like we said before, his space wasn't set up for what he had in his mind. He had a DJ, he had bottles flowing, all that. So it's like if you're trying to have that, you need to have yourself a dance area, dance floor where people can go from their seats, their tables, and go hit the dance floor if they want to twerk and do all that. But where else we gonna do what we gonna do?
Yeah. Personally, I could have a quiet breakfast at my house. If I'm going out and I'm spending money, especially if I'm spending money on alcohol, like, no, I'm about to have some fun. And that may just be because of how I kind of like envision brunch or whatever have you. But yeah, no, like if I'm paying money, I'm paying for the good time.
Okay. Okay. And Brandon?
No, I enjoy both, but I think I view it more as a day party kind of element.
Okay.
Like the bottomless mimosas, like at some point you're gonna get turned up, you're gonna have fun. So it's like leaning more towards the day party fun.
So interesting because I feel like I don't know, the way that I've done brunch has always been at a quiet kind of restaurant. I mean, and they have a brunch menu and that's it. I mean, and now that doesn't mean there are a couple places in Philly that have that kind of like party or club atmosphere, but I just have never been to that. And I don't know, I think that would be cool once in a while. But I'm just used to a quiet brunch, so you know, that's. But
I also think to the ones that, at least to the ones I've been to that have had that kind of party atmosphere, it has not been. I haven't seen anybody on furniture. Personally. Now, because of this, though, I've seen a lot of videos folks retweeting, so apparently this is normal for some people. But I have personally not seen anybody on furniture, no matter what was playing.
So I have one final question. Do you? Okay, so two questions. Do you like to twerk? Number one.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Raise your hand. I like to twerk. Marcus, you ain't twerking?
I may. Depends on what's poured.
All right, so then I want to ask you, what's your favorite twerk style? Because you got the people that put their hands on the walls. You got people that bend down like Meg the Stallion, or you're just like you're like bent over and you're boom boom. Which one do you like?
All of the above.
All of the above.
I've not done the hands on the wall.
You haven't done that on the wall, or you held onto like a table or something and or you put like one leg up.
I mean, a leg might go up. A leg might go up.
Yeah, come on, leg.
I cannot say I've been holding onto the wall though. I can't.
Well, wall, table, chair, somebody.
Maybe something like smaller. I don't think. Maybe. Okay. A little bit of
I find if I brace myself, if I hold on to something, I can get it moving a little bit better.
Come on.
Okay.
All right, brace yourself.
I don't know if that's TMI.
Play your strength. Come on, go off.
There you go.
Come on, core strength.
All right, so I think we're going to move into our next topic, titled "Twink Devil," because
no.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was an interesting twist on the word. But
that was a good one though.
My God.
A Twitter user who currently goes by the name Princess Ibeji. And side note, I'm going to use pronouns they because I'm not entirely sure what the pronouns are, so I'm just going to try to keep it neutral. wrote a long thread on Twitter alleging they were sexually assaulted by a popular gay Instagrammer, Jay, also known as Twink God. I bet you wrote, quote, he spiked a drink, he filmed it, uh, raped me, and also gave me an STD. They continued with, I, quote, I woke up with no recollection of the night before. I was confused and scared when I woke up. Twink God has only responded with a couple of posts to his Instagram saying, quote, I've worked hard for the image I have in my community. It's giving defamation of character and we will approach it as such. I've been advised not to speak yet on the matter. We are gathering all of the information needed. The truth would definitely prevail. As in any case like this, there are always two camps. And so I throw the question out to you guys. Who do you believe? Marcus, let's start with you.
Um, my initial always thing is to always believe victims. Um, so that's where I start operating from. Um, I followed, emphasis on the past tense, old boy for a minute. And I did notice that he kind of like disappeared for a little while. And I can't help but wonder, like if this is somehow related. If something may have come out and he was advised, just like he said, he was advised not to speak. He was advised kind of like go under the radar, because when he came back, it like automatically went to like not like religious, but it's kind of like this real sort of like charitable sort of thing. So it's kind of giving me, make a good name for myself. So for me, that kind of adds to the idea like, there may be some, some foolishness afoot. So yeah, I believe victims.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Brandon, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I could just add, are we all in agreement that we're kind of like on the victims side in this? I mean, I don't really think there has to be a whole lot of talk about that.
Yeah.
But let me see, where was I? So, okay, so my one thing that when we talk about being on the side of the victims, or at least or believing the victims, one thing that stood out to me was this whole it made me think about the whole Jussie Smollett case.
Yeah.
And initially I completely believed Jussie and even kind of like tweeted in his defense. And since then, much of his story has been weakened, and I had to reevaluate my own impressions from initially. So one thing that somebody tweeted out really stuck with me, and I want to get your guys' take on this, is that we shouldn't blindly believe someone when they say they've been victimized, but we should just take it very seriously. And so I wonder whether you think that is a better approach, or is that still just kind of victim blaming? What do you guys think about that?
I think I'm not certain on what the difference is. Like, what does that look like? Taking it serious if you don't believe them. Because I also think, because we're not, like, that's, by the end of the day, that's the, I guess, police job or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's investigating it, that's not necessarily the job of the public opinion or whatever. So that's kind of why I always tend to believe the victim, the survivor, whoever. And then if stuff comes out later on that completely refutes it, or there's holes in the story, whatever, I'll reevaluate. But I personally don't like dig any deeper than the initial accusation.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't either. But I was just curious about that, because that kind of stuck with me, and I was just like, I wonder if there's really any merit to that kind of an argument. But yeah. So what do you guys think of the people who are defending Twink God though?
Wow.
People defend their friends. People defend people they're attracted to. People they want to fuck. People defend popular people. People might not like the other dude who accused, or the other person who accused them. It's a number of reasons, I guess.
Namely, people defend who they want to fuck.
Right, and I think that was the biggest part. I mean, like, he's only following like 15 people on Twitter, but he had a lot of people supporting him. So it's just kind of strange. These people who have no personal connection are immediately in his camp. And so I don't know. I just thought that was weird. Well, did you get any sense of that? Or
Yeah, from an like I said, when I looked at it, I could see why there are individuals who may side with Twink God, but at the same, like, I mean, I'm all for victims as well, but the thing is, I could see why people would side with him because in this day and age, like you mentioned with the Jussie Smollett situation, people could see it as a way that someone would make an allegation just to get some type of attention. And sometimes we have a lot of attention seekers that will make up stories based off of, whatever interaction they may have had with that individual. Something could have went wrong, and then all of a sudden, you're being blasted. So the thing is, in this case, we're taking this very seriously from the victim's point of view, but it's unfortunate there's people who are going to side with the abuser because, like you said, because they think he's attractive or because he's popular, or they may think that the allegations against him are false because of some attention seeker, somebody who, made up a story just to kind of like get some type of sympathy. Or like I said, we don't know. It's not our job to figure out who's right or who's wrong, who's story. It's like you said, it's the investigator's job. But like I said, these things happen, for instance, like there 1 out of 6 men are victims of sexual violence. We know that. That's a true fact. And the fact that we can't look at this from a perspective because he's a man. If it was a woman, then of course we would side with the woman. But since these are 2 males, it's kind of like, who do we believe? People aren't taking it necessarily seriously now that the gender roles have been flipped. So in my situation, from my point of view, I feel like you have to take responsibility and know that these things happen, and we can't just assume that this is just another one of those false accusation stories. We have to take it seriously because these things happen every day, whether you are a man or a woman. So,
Marcus, any thoughts on this?
I admit I'm not 100% sure that that people are less believing because it's 2 men. I think that people are always going to defend, like people a lot of times kind of defend the I guess the more masculine person in the thing, which in this case seems to be Twink God. Because, and I say that because people don't always believe it when when it is a man who's abused a woman. Like they're quickly to defend the man. I mean, we have countless examples of that. So that does kind of give me pause. But I will say that there is a lot to be said about the fact that people will latch on to that, that 1% of people who are lying about their assault and say, see, this is why we shouldn't believe everybody. And that's not right. Like that's not right to say like, oh, everybody now is lying just because of one random person out of the hundreds of people who lie.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing some comments. Mama Shay is saying when people curate an image, I feel like they are hiding things. I think a lot of people are kind of feeling the same way.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens with this. I actually saw that I had him muted on Twitter, actually.
Interesting.
I don't even remember what it was, but it's been like, maybe a couple years ago or something.
But he used to post a lot. So I think, I haven't seen him as much because I followed him because of this. I like unfollowed him, but he definitely didn't post as much as he used to. Because he used to post like little videos and stuff all the time.
Okay, interesting. We are going to move into our final topic, and I'm calling this one Letitia Wrong.
Yes, I love it.
How does he come up with these?
That mind.
Look, I mean, I've been doing this. I've secretly been doing this for myself since the first episode, but now I'm just, sharing with the audience my craziness in my head. So,
to quote New York, his mind.
Okay. Crazy. Okay, so Black Panther star Letitia Wright shared a YouTube conspiracy video about the COVID-19 vaccine. I personally haven't watched the video, but it also apparently had some climate change skepticism and transphobic comments within. After feeling the heat, Letitia tweeted, quote, "If you don't conform to popular opinions and think for yourself, you get canceled." She engaged with several users who challenged her and has since deleted her Twitter account. And I think maybe all of her social media. I don't know. I read something where it was like all her social media. But what was your initial reaction to this, Duel? Because you're the actor in the room. I know we're gonna go
Yes.
from actor to writer. Brandon, you're next, and then we're gonna go to Marcus. We're gonna go to our viewers.
Look, I'm just a regular bitch.
Well, me too.
I'm
So
just
look, I'm
messing
here
with
with
you.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what are you thinking?
when I saw what she posted, I was like, you got to be careful what you put out there. You just got to be mindful. And I don't know who in her camp, is not like watching her Twitter account or nothing, because the thing is, being in the position that we're in, we have like a microscope. Everybody has like a microscope on every little word that you say. And if you're not necessarily cognizant of what's going on around you to where you're able to form an opinion, you shouldn't have that opinion at all. You should just kind of stay quiet. That's what that's like the unwritten rule, because like I said, whatever you put out there can affect you in your career going forward. And especially since she has, the Black Panther franchise and everything, in her wheelhouse right now, I would be kind of quiet when it comes to things that I don't know about, especially when it comes to this vaccine, which everybody's kind of a bit tense about. And I understand from her point of view, she wanted to be a bit aware of what's going into her body, and she didn't want to kind of further perpetuate misinformation. But the thing is, the video that she put out there had all other types of controversial topics. And if you're backing all of that as well, you're going to have opposition, and you're going to have to be able to put your opinion out there and deal with the backlash. And at this point, she's not in a position to be able to handle that, because she's fairly young in this industry. She doesn't have enough clout just yet to be able to have these like political opinions, because at the end of the day, like I said, posting stuff about COVID-19 is kind of like a little tense right now. People are a little fearful. So I think she should have kind of like met with her publicist or consulted with her team before she put out any type of statement on social media. Just my personal.
Got you. I got you. Brandon, what are you thinking about this?
I think stuff like this is further proves that, like, as much as we enjoy celebs being in charge of their own social media because it makes them accessible and like, tangible, whatever, they really shouldn't. Just promote your movie and go, girl. Like, that's all that we need from you. Because I think though that she probably saw only bits and pieces or whatever of the thing. Because I was gonna go watch it, but I told you I was like, oh, this is an hour. I'm really not gonna sit here and watch the whole thing. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, and so she probably completely missed all of the other controversial stuff that was in there. Completely missed whatever. And then I think when she was like challenged on it, she kind of doubled down instead of just apologizing or being honest or whatever else.
Y'all,
and I get it.
This.
If you have however many followers and then all these people are in your mentions talking about you and calling you out, I get why you would deactivate or go away. But I think mistakes happen. I think if it's all in an apology, it's all in change behavior. I think just sharing this video is not the end of her career. She doesn't let it be. Because she still will probably, I'm sure, have a huge role in Black Panther. I don't see them getting rid of her. I'm sure and that will help her do other things or whatever. So I just think, like you were saying though, she should have thought a bit more before posting this.
Yeah.
But I mean, people are fickle. Give it a week or two.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll forget it. Let Black Panther 2 come out, and we'll be right up there in theaters. Exactly. But Marcus, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, and it's kind of building off what y'all just said. Like that whole thing with her, like, oh, if you don't have the right opinion, you'll get canceled. That girl ain't about to cancel you. Do you know how major Black Panther was? You know how many people right now are advocating for Shuri to become Black Panther? You know how many folk is still going up for Shuri? Like at this moment, girl, you ain't cancel. People just want you to stop being dumb on social media. That's literally it.
Like some people calling for her to get to replace her though as well. So I
But
do.
Okay, no, we can't do that.
No.
I don't. As respectful as I can make this, we can't take no other.
we really can't. We
Nothing else over
really
there.
cannot.
I don't know how.
Maybe if Chadwick was still here, but we can't. No,
Yes.
we can't lose both of them.
Cannot. No.
So
We ain't getting rid of you, Effie.
Right.
We ain't getting rid of you, Effie.
but no, like, and that's the thing. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of times these celebrities, their egos be hurt. Because they be feeling like when people push back against them, they feel like, oh my God, they don't love me anymore. Let me just deactivate everything. No, girl, I just want you to stop being stupid. That's literally
Just holding you accountable. That's all.
That's it. Say you're sorry and keep on pushing.
right. So
Please.
I guess it's safe to assume that she is not canceled for anyone on this.
I mean, I don't know if I was subscribing to cancel her, but okay.
I love Sherry. I don't know that woman.
Period. Only see
She's
her in
still
Black
invited
Panther.
to the cookout. She's
I
still
did see her.
invited to the cookout.
Right.
I don't know if
I
I'm
did
coming,
see her in it may be
Because
too, never mind.
these invites be too. They be too.
Listen, they be too loose.
Who all gonna be there? I need to know.
I need a guest
I need a
list.
guest list.
right.
I need a guest list.
But
So
yeah.
I'm reading the comments here, and this was also one of my questions as well. Was like that there are a lot of people who are saying that Black people have the right to be skeptical about this vaccine, given our history, specifically the Tuskegee thing.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? And you know, is Letitia, like, is she exempt from that because she's a celebrity, or what? Like, I mean, is she rightfully being dragged, even though she's part of the community that has a right to feel? I mean, like, how do we square that up?
Because I don't think anybody's dragging her for the COVID-19 misinformation. I saw more so people dragging her. Well, they drag her because it isn't misinformation, but also because there was like transphobic things in the video. So if you're skeptical of the vaccine, nobody cares. We're all skeptical. Like cool. But all of the other things that came with that is why we're like, girl.
Exactly.
So
got you. Okay.
Like, I didn't even trust getting a PS5 first batch. You think I'm gonna get a vaccine when it first come out? Absolutely not.
That's hard. But also, I mean, thankfully with this one, I'm so far down on the list, they'll work out the kinks by the time they get to me. So
Basically, yeah.
I'm young. I'm not an essential worker. I don't thankfully have any, you know what I'm saying, what is it, the health risk or whatever? Like
Existing conditions or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so far down.
You just made me think. I wonder, am I considered an essential worker?
I don't know, but you know, there are
Probably
saying
not.
that some people who like your jobs can require you to get it or something, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That's part of the conversation anyway. So Marcus and Brandon won't be taking the vaccine. Dueal, will you be taking the vaccine? I mean, like if you were able to be
I'm gonna
like
get the
first
third
in
batch
line
or something,
would
you
you-
know.
Ooh. I'm a little skeptical about that too. For me, because you know, I take care of like my folks, so like I feel like I probably would. I don't know where I would be. I'd probably be somewhere a little bit before you, Brandon, a little bit before, because I do take care of my folks and they're older, so I'm like their caretaker. So my thing is, I'm a little skeptical about what I put in my body. So the thing is, I want them to work out them kinks first. You know, let me see a few people, you know, recover from this before I, decide to get that injection. You know, it's not like we doing the flu shot, you know.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder how long is a good period to wait before you guys know that it's safe to take? What specifically would you have to see?
From what I was saying, though,
year.
because from what I was saying, I think by the time it's open to like people who fit my criteria, or whatever, it'll be like the summer or like towards the end of next year. So then they would have started, I guess, January, February sometime or whatever. So I think that's enough time to see. For me, it just happens to work out for me that I'm so far down on the list.
Okay. I'm just saying, if I had the choice, I would be right up in there. Please shoot me up.
You know,
makes sense. But I also think too, it's important to note, because I was seeing another thread though that like, because everybody's skeptical because it happened so fast. But it happened so fast because there's a lot more money into this. It's a global thing, so everybody's kind of like, we want something now. So they're able to move a lot faster than they normally are with vaccines and stuff.
Okay, all right.
We're just gonna watch. You know, Jarrod, if you start to turn into a zombie on camera, we'll know it's not safe to take the vaccine.
So do y'all get the flu shot?
No,
I
actually.
do. I get the flu shot every year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do or you don't? You don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Never had the
So
flu.
I do. Well, okay.
do.
Hey.
All right. So I think we actually are ending on time. I can't believe it because I know the last couple of weeks we have been going over by like 10 minutes or so. But Dueal, can you please let the viewers know where to find you online, sir?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Dueal Andrews, Dueal Andrews.
Got you. Okay, and I will put your links in the show notes as well. Please, everybody who's on Twitter and on Periscope, please give us some hearts, give us a like, please, because that helps us, grow. That helps us grow. We're trying to get a little bit bigger here. So if you enjoyed our conversation and want to see more, go to boysandbrunch.com now and become a patron, where you'll get exclusive monthly posts and access to our after show Splitting the Bill. That's what we're going to be recording in a moment after we're done here. And I believe it's time for our toast, everyone.
Praise God.
I had to read up for the toast.
So until next time, be careful what you say, because the boys will brunch. Take care.
Twink.